What's up, guys? I'm Bradu. Boy, it's been a while. Happy New Year, everyone. I have not done a video in a couple months, probably. I got plenty of news, plenty to talk about, plenty on my mind. So much that it's going to be really jumbled, so I just kind of figured I'd play a little bit of catch-up and do a little bit of sketching and see how far this goes and see how long I feel like drawing. See how long before my wife gets home, too. It's much easier to do this when she's gone and she's out shopping. Anyway, what I've mostly been doing this lately is using these smallish sketchbooks and creating my own little sketch cards in them. Sorry, I'm flipping through real quick. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for. Oh, I guess I'm looking for a page I'm going to draw on. I've got more newer drawings in this one, actually. The toned tan is really popular, but I finally found a toned gray in this size. I like this size. I can make... oops, sorry, I got my cord right there. I used to use a little dummy card and trace it for my cards here, and I can fit 3 to a page like that, and I just do little quick sketches. Most of them are like 10 minutes, but sometimes longer. I'll probably draw a little longer today, so I'm not really going to rush it on camera. But I've just been doing all these little sketches, playing around with whites and different colors on the toned paper. A lot of Star Wars, a couple Labyrinth in here. I've already posted most of these online, but I thought it might be kind of fun to just flip through. David Bowie. This is Bowie, back to Bowie. So, I have a lot of New Year's resolutions. The main one, though, that I can really, iron down, that's definite, absolute, this is something I want to do for the year 2016, is draw every day. No matter what that means. I'm going to do little things here and there, like, I might do 30 days of drawing this, or, this all started with sketch card a day for the month of, I think it was February, 28 days later. Wow, that was almost a year ago now. But anyway, the one thing I want to make sure is consistent through all of that is that I'm drawing every day. And that can be really difficult. I've got a newborn. He's 7 weeks old now. Ty, he's pretty awesome. That's a whole different story. I'm sure I'll ramble on about him at some point. But between taking care of a newborn and the holidays, we were barely home. It was like we'd come home, grab some things, go stay at her mom's for a few days, swing back by, grab a few things. So this is the first time since mid-December, it's now January 8th, 9th, since mid-December that I've actually been home for at least 2 days straight, I think. So it's pretty crazy. It has been crazy, and I just haven't been able to get settled. So I'm going to draw my son here. This is Ty. This is one of the first pictures taken of him. Oh, I got quite a glare there, huh? Maybe that'll work. Sorry, I'm going to have to draw on the edge of the screen. But anyway, I've done a lot of drawings of him in these sketchbooks. Most of them have been cut out because I gave them away as Christmas gifts and that sort of thing. Oh, here, let me show you. That's pretty close from the same photo shoot. Let me show you a little example. I found this at Fred Meyer the other day. So that's going to be tough to show you because the camera's so close. But this is a little swiveling frame, I guess, with some of my sketches of him in one of his footprints. And that, I don't know, I found a bunch of neat Dollar Tree frames too. So I use those as Christmas gifts. Hope you can hear me, I'm walking away from the camera. And that was kind of a fun thing I did. A lot of the people in my family got one. Kind of anybody I thought would enjoy it. So most of those were just quick little sketches. Like I said, I'm not going to time myself so much here. I'm just going to draw and have fun with it. It's one of my favorite pictures of him. I believe this was the second day, the day after he was born, was when that photo was taken. And he's changed so much already. I've been doing, like I said, sketching in this little sketchbook. A lot of baby pictures. A lot of Star Wars. A couple Labyrinth. And I've been using it for this app called Sketchy, which I know I've mentioned before, but I'll explain it again. And mostly it's artists on Sketchy. It's kind of a community photo sharing, art sharing app. And what it is you upload photos, and then people can grab whatever photos have been uploaded on there by anybody and draw them. So you're kind of hoping that somebody draws your photos if you're uploading them. I do it almost differently. I kind of upload my own photos that I'm going to draw. And that way, if anybody else wants to draw them, that's fine, but it's just so that the reference is there. So I uploaded a bunch of pictures of him. Don't read that. That's funny. My brothers just sent me a text. Anyway, I uploaded a bunch of pictures of him because I was going to be drawing him a lot. So I think one other person maybe drew one of his drawings, but it's mostly just me drawing him, which is fine. It's a neat app though, because you can, like let's see, how do I explain this without actually showing you? I'll just show you real quick. Boom, Sketchy. So it just shows art that people have drawn. I'll show you some of mine because that makes the most sense. You can look at the photos I've got. These are all the photos I've uploaded, so anybody could grab these and draw them. And then you can look at the artwork I created. So for instance, here's one of mine, right? And you just swipe and you can see the reference photo. So it's really neat to compare. This one I did yesterday. Just some dude that my friend says looks like a serial killer. He could be right. Anyway, it's a real neat app, and I definitely recommend it for any artist. I use it. A lot of people, are doing like full-scale, really nice drawings on there. I don't try and do that at all. I try and use it for warm-ups. It gives me constant reference. There's always new reference there that I can use. And and it's community-based, so it also gets me in contact with other people, which is kind of fun. It's not like I'm getting customers off there or anything, but it's still like, it's a community, and so it's cool. I've made a couple like Facebook friends from people who've liked my art on there and stuff like that. People will request that you draw them. That's common. I love this photo, but it might be a little tricky to make it into a good drawing. It doesn't have super dramatic lights and darks and shadows and things like that. It's just a really cute picture. But I wanted to at least do it. I've had this one kind of in mind for a long time. This is my little wallpaper image, or whatever you call it. When I open up my phone, this is the picture that's right there. Like I said, I've been doing these much, much quicker, but even this, if you've watched any of my other older Artcast videos where I'm doing like a Copic marker sketch card, I'm much more meticulous than this, so I've definitely gotten myself into a bit of a better habit of just being more spontaneous with my drawings. I could still be a lot more spontaneous than this. Definitely you see me already kind of going over and over some of the same marks. I like to try and get the accuracy down right away, get things in the right place, and then work more and more on just bringing it to life, a little more detail, a little bit at a time. Let's get that, try and get that forehead line accurate here. So yeah, going back to my goals for the year, the number one goal I have art related is draw every day. And sometimes that's just a quick 10-minute sketch is all I can do. And that counts. It's more about that I want to get into the habit of drawing every single day and making that just part of who I am. I did that really well when I set those goals last year. You know, like I said, I started in February and drew a bunch through most of the year. He had a really wide space between his eyes when he was really little. Oh, I didn't even grab an eraser. And then when he was born and the holidays came and we were going around so much, I brought these sketchbooks wherever I went, but I didn't have like my other reference stuff all printed up and organized, and wasn't carrying around my markers with me and stuff. So the most I was doing really was these little sketches. And you know, there were times I feel like between November and December that I would go a week without drawing anything at all. And that's unheard of, and it's not okay. I can't be doing that at this point in my life and art career, but it was just so crazy and hectic. And so I'm just trying to get back to that and make drawing every day a part of just who I am and what I do. And even on the very first day, I knew that I wanted that to be my game plan, right? That was something I had in my head for a couple months at least. But especially as we got closer to December 31st, those eyes in the right spot. I'm not making him nearly as cute as he is, but it'll come. It'll come as the details come in more. For sure. Make sure that nose is right. I think it's off to the side a little. So even on January 1st, it was like 11 p.m. We were getting ready for bed, and I hadn't even drawn that day. And I was like, son of a gun. You know, it was a day that we did a lot of driving. We were coming back into town, and then like I said, I can't remember if we came home at all. We must have come home and then gone back out to my wife's mom's house. And so, yeah, I wasn't home. I just had my sketchbook. And I was like, well, it is the new year, so I got to draw. So even though I didn't have any time that day, I just did it and made it happen and did a 10-minute sketch that night. And then the next day, I think I did we were snowed in. It totally sucked. The timing was bad. We got snowed in there. They kind of live out in the boonies in the middle of nowhere. And we got snowed in there for 3 days. We were going for the night, and we ended up staying, I think, 3 nights or 4 nights. And so I just did, that's when I did all those drawings. I just flipped through at the beginning with Star Wars and Labyrinth. And I did a whole bunch of little quick ones. And one longer one, Bo Jackson. Bo knows. Bo Jackson was pretty rad. Alrighty. So even day one, it was really hard for me to get my one little sketch done. And I don't even have to complete a sketch. I would like to every day, but that's not really part of it. It's just draw every day. So if it means that, I think on a day that I'm just like trying to get something done, like I said, you know, it's the end of the night and I haven't done anything yet, I think I'll just do a quick little sketch card in my sketchbook like this. That'll be my go-to for that situation. But let's say like there's a day where I do a half hour of drawing on a sketch card or a medical drawing or something, but I don't actually complete it. That would still count. I just want to make sure I'm drawing every day. It doesn't have to be a completed, is what I'm saying. It just has to be, I have to do it. That's the important part. I wonder if I should use a darker brown for some of these darks. I really like this little sepia pencil thing. Sanguine oil. Not quite sepia. But it doesn't get very darks, and so you have to be real subtle with your shading and still get like this. You know, this is a dark line here where his lip is. So that is my main goal. Draw every day through 2016. I suspect over the course of the year I will hit a sketch card a day. Not every day, but in the whole year I think I'll have a total of 365 sketch cards at least done. We'll see. I think I did that last year. I can't remember my exact count, but I'm pretty sure I hit over 365 for the year, which is cool. I always, and I've mentioned this on other videos, but I always viewed doing drawings and doing art as creating a collection of my work, like trading cards, you know. I just thought of it like that, and so it's kind of neat when I can go, oh man, feels cool to me. Oh, I did 365 drawings this year. Drawing a day, that's a good body of work, right? That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. This is his little shoulder here. It's really going to be hard to signify that, but it's not important. I want the face to be the important part. Yeah, like I said, it's such a cute drawing, or such a cute photo, not such a cute drawing yet. So I'm not sure if I can work up to that or not. Putting in the highlights will definitely help. And this one, like I said, I wasn't planning on timing it because I like this photo so much. I didn't want this to be a 5-10 minute quick sketch. I want it to be a nice accurate one, so maybe that means that I spend a little longer and do a little more detailing, and we'll see. We'll see where I get, really. Alright, let's give them some shading here. There's not much definition and detail here in his forehead, so it's really tricky. I do need a little bit. I just watched Will Terry's video yesterday where he was giving tips for drawing on toned paper, which a little bit of irony there is that he was drawing a digital drawing as his example. So it says like tips for drawing on toned paper with white pencil, you know, that he's using a computer. But the concept that he was trying to get is still the same, and I'm going to try and employ it a little bit here. And basically what he said boils down to this. Most artists have a tendency to way overdo the whites when they're drawing on toned, myself included for sure, and not just let the tone of the paper be your whites in some areas, right? Not your white. You've got to draw in your whitest whites. But a lot of times where there's white areas, you don't need to draw every little. Let me see if I have an example, because I definitely overdid the whites on some of mine. This one's a good example. Same little guy, just peeking through. And I drew in the white on his whole face, and I think it would have been probably stronger if I hadn't, and had let the whites that I did be a little more prominent. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think I did a little better job using it just for the highlights and really making it pop. Anyway, so I'll try not to overdo the whites here. Uh-oh, I lost my picture. See, there it is when I pop it up. I got to, I did this the other day. So I'm used to this. It goes dark, so every few minutes I touch the phone to keep the picture popping up. And the other day I was drawing from a photograph. So let's just pretend it was Daredevil I'm drawing over here. And I reached over and touched the photo. And I was like, that's funny. Sure, I'm not the first person to do that. In our digital age, everything is changing. We're just used to stuff like that now. Alright, little Bubby. We call him Bubby. What can I do to make you come to life here a little more? My wife's really been enjoying all the sketches I've been doing of him. And then she was, in one of her weaker moments, she was so upset at Christmas when I gave her what I felt was the best sketch I had done of him yet. And she didn't like it as much as one of the other ones that I gave away. And she was all like, she just was really focused on it. Like, why didn't you give me that one? It's not fair for me to make her sound bad like this. It was just, she was like, I think she was just so attached to him being so little. And the drawing that I gave her was a recent one. So he had outgrown some of the baby fat and stuff. And she didn't think it looked much like him. And really it was more just that she was a little bit in denial about that he had already grown up a little bit and changed a little bit. So she came to terms with it. I'm not saying she didn't complain or whatever. And she's told me that she really loves the one I did of her. But it was really funny the first couple days after I gave it. She was really like focused, like, why did you give away that one? It was so good. Well, I'll draw another one, honey. Draw it just like that. Well, I don't really want to draw it just like that. I mean, I want each drawing to be unique and different. I guess, speaking of that, I guess this new Star Wars sets are going to have more repeats you draw. They don't want you to draw 100 unique sketch cards. They want you to draw 10 or 15 or something, and then draw each of those several times. Something to do with needing them to be Lucasfilm has to approve them too or something. See, this is where it is. Like, I want that. There's a little highlight on his cheek, and I either have to draw shadows all the way up. Here, maybe I need to make his cheek a little core shadow there. Maybe that will help. And there's a little bit of a shadow that comes down there. I don't know. This is not popping as much as I want it to, but maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. I always have to give my drawings a couple days to sit before I really know if I like them. His eyes are so dark in this. He's got pretty blue eyes, but when he was first born, it was like blue with this dark brown behind it, kind of, and everybody was saying, oh, he's going to end up with brown eyes. And actually, they've gotten more blue, so I don't know how long they keep changing or whatever, but for right now, he's got blue eyes. My wife has blue eyes. I have brown eyes. So you never know which way he's going to go, right? We haven't figured out which one of us he looks more like. And as he kind of keeps changing, it'll keep changing too. I think he's got some features of both of us. One thing that has been said by a few people is he's got my hands. He's got like these long, skinny fingers. So that's kind of cool. Alright, I think it's about done. And I don't know if I want to do another quick sketch or start on something else or what. This did not end up as detailed looking as I want it, but at least I think it looks like him and it's relatively cute. And I don't want to overdo the white, but maybe I can find a couple more spots. A little bit of white. Let's pop that nose highlight a little bit. I like the white gel pen for real highlights, right? And then the white Prismacolor pencil for just kind of shading and so I hope that Will Terry would approve of my limited use of white here. Tried not to go overboard, but still bring a little bit of form. Another guy, while I'm drawing on these, that I should mention, who I've mentioned before, I think briefly. I haven't watched all his videos. He's kind of new to me. There's a guy who, I can't remember if he's in Portland or was from Portland and then moved, but he goes by Sketchy Trav on YouTube. He's real big on these toned, especially the toned tan sketchbook. He does almost all his stuff, and he's got the bigger ones, but almost all of his drawings seem to be on these, and they're really good. And I look at his stuff and wonder how he gets such bright highlights with a white Prismacolor pencil on. I know he's using this pencil and this paper, and I don't know how he gets the same effects that I can't quite seem to get there. Having said that, I'm a lot happier with my drawings on toned paper than I have been. Like these. This page is a good example. You know, I'm happy with that. And this whole page I did obviously just use red, white, and blue. I had a pencil and a ballpoint pen, or in the white case of white, it's the gel pen. So I had a pencil and a pen for each of the three colors. So those all took a little longer than some of my quick sketches, because I was constantly switching. It's a lot easier to just grab a pencil and draw with that, or a ballpoint pen, or whatever. Alright, well, let's see, I should keep drawing. I had another idea. So let's just roll. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut the video here. Wow, it's almost a half hour. I'm going to cut the video here, and then I might even start up another one with a new drawing. But since that drawing was complete, I guess, I'll stop it rather than doing another drawing on the same video. That's what I ended up with. Oops. Oh no. I don't love it. He's a little alien looking, but he's alien looking in the photo too. But I didn't capture the cuteness the way that I wanted to. So I'll look over it and I might still make changes. It's not the worst I've done, but it's not as good as I wanted it to be. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, I might just start right up and keep recording. I don't get too many opportunities to do that anymore. Because I only like to do this when my wife is not here. So maybe we'll clear out a room that I can have a little drawing area in, so that I can do whatever I need to do, no matter who's home. Alright, thanks for checking in. Check back in another 10 minutes and I'll have another video. Just kidding, it'll take me a while to upload. Later, Happy New Year.